Hello FlossTube Stitchers. I'm calling this video Hello Autumn for a couple reasons. I know it's not actually the start of the fall season yet, but in our area, Northeast Ohio, it has just taken a little turn to the chilly side this week. So in the early evening, it's in the 60s instead of the 70s. And I probably should put a sweatshirt on at midnight when I take the dogs out, and then I'm debating on whether to wear socks to bed. So it just seems to be autumn all of a sudden. Although when school started a few weeks, was it two weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were having some 90-degree days finally, since we had such a mild summer. So you had to feel bad for staff and students alike when the schools don't have air conditioning. But anyway, it seems a little more chilly, seems more like fall right now. And the second reason is because we have Hello Autumn as a new shop model on loan from Carol Leonard. Let's see, it's got glass on it, so I can't show it full on or there'll be a weird glare, so I think you can see it okay there. This is from Primrose Cottage Stitches, and they have a whole series of hellos, and Carol did hers in one brown frame with turn buttons on the back so that she can put all the different seasons in as she pleases, and it's easier to store. So of course, these next ones are not going to be in the frame because I'm not going to take the time to change it just for this video. I did it for social media posting, but not for the video. So then here is Hello Winter. And I love how the winter especially is graduated colors there in both the word and the mittens. I just think it's so attractive. I've always liked that style of design. And then this is Hello Spring and Hello Summer. And then I think Hello Santa was one of the first ones they came out with, and Winter was the last. So they may have been asked to do a season instead of just counting on Santa for winter, or maybe it was their plan all along. I'm not sure. But this is Carol's Hello Santa. And then this is my Hello Santa, which coincidentally I got back from the framer just recently, and I thought I'd save it to show it this video. And it's a little bit different frame for me. It's a little shiny, but it was a really good color green. And I like how thick it is because I'm probably more likely to put this on a shelf, either in my living room or my dining room, or in some other type of display. And this way it can just sit there on its own instead of going on an easel. Sometimes you just can't find the right easel that matches, or the easel puts it at a weird angle. And that way I can just sit it. But I do always still like to have the screw eyes and wire on the back in case I want to put it in some other grouping on the wall. So mine was done on, and the name just escapes me. I thought I was prepared for this. I know I told you when I was working on it. My mind is blank right now. I'll try to think of it. Oh, you know what else I wanted to show you? I had changed, can you see just a little bit of difference between the E and the O? I actually wrote mine out so it looked a little more like my handwriting, and I didn't think the E was that legible, and the O looked awkward to me when I practiced writing out the word in cursive. So my hello looks a little more like my handwriting if I do it that way. So that was a good contrast between the two. All right, I did get more things back from my framer, but I have enough to show today that I think I'm gonna save a few of them for later. This is my vintage stitch, and this is called Pumpkin Stack by Cherry Hill Stitchery. And it was a free chart years ago. I honestly could not find the original. I know I have it. I saw it not too long ago, but I wasn't thinking of showing this. So I wasn't prepared, but I thought it was good for Hello Autumn. So the free chart probably came with an order, or more likely with a trunk show, because I know I had one from Deanna years ago. Then she stopped designing for a little bit for family reasons, and when she started up again, she was putting things mainly in PDFs, and then just recently she started doing paper charts again for shops to sell. So I couldn't use this for Freebie February because there wasn't an online link that I could send people to. It was only a paper chart that I could Xerox for my customers. So I put it away. But now it is a PDF in her Etsy shop. So look for Pumpkin Stack. I don't know if you can see the bird's little legs, but she kind of looks like she's dancing on top of the pumpkins. I believe I used the suggested colors, but without the original chart that I might have made notes on. I can't remember right now, but they're fall colors. So you can either use hers or you can change them to your favorite company. So that's Pumpkin Stack. Then, you know, Bonnie had done a Honey of a Tiny Town for me as a surprise belated birthday gift. And so I immediately started thinking, we hadn't done it in a while. We used to do some gift giving for birthdays and Christmas, and we kind of got out of the habit, you know, life got in the way. And so this was kind of a surprise, but I thought, oh, I need to stitch something for her birthday, which was in August. So I had a few little hiccups along the way because I had some ideas for series that she was already doing, and some of them have multiple seasons, or maybe two for the same season. Like there might be a Christmas and a winter, or there might be a beach and a patriotic, you know, for summer. And so her comments, when she would look at charts or mention things in the store, led me to believe that she maybe didn't want some of the ones that I was considering. Not that I was telling her, but just I would listen to her comments about the charts as they came out. And she would say, oh, the colors are too similar to the other one, or I don't really do patriotic, or so I'm like, shoot. So I actually went at least 2 or 3 weeks without stitching anything because I couldn't decide. Then when Harvest Tiny Town came out, she saw it, but she saw the chart and asked me to hold it for her until the next time, because she had just popped in. She wasn't really here for appointments. And so I put it aside for her, but I thought, oh, no, you don't. I'm going to start stitching this. So that's what I did. And I think I can show it to you without the white board behind it because the fabric is dark enough. So you may have seen my Whip Wednesday where I showed it. I did a little more since then. And I'm using mostly the suggested colors. I think I only changed 1 or 2 just for dye-lot issues. I changed the rusty color from Carolina Cecil to Campfire because it looked better with my barn door. And I put the, you know how Cecilia started doing the frills to go with them? So this, of course, is really cute separate, but I used the designer's suggestion for which houses to put it between, and so I added that. And I had to, because look at the fox. He's so cute. And then there's a little crow that's going to sit on that pumpkin stack. And then there's, I think there's some more crows flying in the air over that shorter flower. But it's just so cute, and it's stitching so quickly. It's been one of the most fun projects I think I've ever worked on. So many little motifs, and maybe also because it's a gift, maybe that's what made it so fun. So anyway, coming along on that, I told her, let's see, today's Sunday. I saw her yesterday. I told her that she would get it back finished next Saturday and we could play around with some framing options. And I'm doing it on 32 Lugana from Atomic Ranch Fabrics. It was part of the Fabric of the Month Club. And this color is called Prairie Land. And what I basically did was cut a 1/4 yard. Well, I didn't cut it into 3 pieces. I left the other piece intact, but this is basically 1/3 of a 1/4 yard. So you could easily do that with other 1/4 yards, even if you add the frill, unless your piece was really serged crookedly or something. But so this is an overdyed fabric. It's already shrunk. It's already serged, so it's a little bit smaller than a regular 1/4 yard. But I'm saying if you have 1/4 yards in your stash, you could do any of the tiny towns, including the frill, stitching it this way. So I thought that was a good use of the fabric. All right, I held that long enough that maybe YouTube will automatically use that as its glamour shot. Okay. While I was waiting to figure out what I was going to do for Bonnie, I had a hankering to start something new, and I don't even remember what day it was. I think I only worked on it 2 nights that week, and then I worked on it another night this week. And this is another Primrose Cottage, coincidentally, called Christmas Wishes. I love this whole series of the rhyming. You saw a couple versions of Bumblebee Kisses in our bee stitching video. But I just thought this was so cute. And it calls for all DMC, but I am using Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler and Mistletoe for the red and the green. I kept the white and the browns the same. I probably could have finished this, but I still need to get the darker brown. I could not find it in my stash or in any of my kits. So I still need to get that. And so another evening or half an evening, and I'll get this finished. This is stitched on 32 Lugana, just the regular fabric from Zweigart, but the opalescent desert. And on her chart, on their chart, I should say, this is, let's see, Lindsay designed it, Emily stitched it. I think it was Lindsay that answered my email, because they did theirs on 25 count, and I could not find any distributor that carried that size. I've never seen that in that color. In fact, when I ordered this color, I think it was in 2021, it was listed as a new color on one of the distributors' websites, and I waited months for it to come in. And this was the only count that it was available in at that time. So I emailed her saying, do you know of some kind, what is your secret distributor? Because I can't find it. And unfortunately, the news that she got was that it had been discontinued. But they definitely did theirs on 25. It was not a mistake on the chart. It just so happened that they had it in their stash, but it was no longer available for shops to order. But anyway, there's others you could use. This is kind of close to raw, so you could use the raw opalescent. And so I'm sure you'll find a nice color whether you want the sparkle or not. And then, whoops. I have to go get that. Okay, I left that on the other counter. After watching the bee stitching slideshow numerous times while I was editing it and added pictures and things, I was just enthralled with all the bee things. And of course I made a list of probably, 6 that I need to stitch right away. Well, that's not going to happen because it's already September and I should be moving on to other themes and other seasons. But I decided to get out one of my whips, and I think this was a start that I only worked on for one night during May of 2019 when I was doing Mania, because I started a new project every day for 31 days and I only worked on it for one day. Most of them I only worked on for, the one day that month and kind of didn't go back to it. So it was Rosewood Manor's Industrious Bee, and it has the loveliest poem, which I'm sure she wrote herself. It probably says in here. Well, okay, this is what it says on the back. I should have remembered this because I probably read it during that video in 2019. I read this verse in a book about American sampler verses. It was from a 1700s sampler. And she said, Karen said she loved the words and was inspired to create a sampler using them. Well, Karen, I was going to give you credit for writing this, but anyway, because I know she has written some things. So that's what it looks like. And I don't remember, I'd have to go back and look at a picture. I don't remember exactly what words were already on there, but I did another evening worth of words. And the chart, unfortunately, is on multiple pages, and I think that word honeycomb at the bottom was on 4 pages. So I was pretty much choosing a word that was easy to find on the chart and easy to count to from a word that I had already done. So that's why it's weird, and I didn't do like a whole line because it wasn't on the same page. But I was very happy to make some progress on this, and I'm using, yes, the suggested fabric, 32 count antique white Belfast linen, and the designer used 2 strands, and so I was using 2 strands. And you know, if I were starting this project now, I might be tempted to do 1 strand, but maybe for the lettering it wouldn't have shown up enough, but I might have done it on 36 with 1 strand, but it's okay. I'm liking the way it looks. The words are chunky enough that there's enough space for me to wind my threads under the back without too much difficulty, and it's going to be easy to read from a distance once it's framed and on the wall. So I'm okay with it, but it's just interesting how your taste changes sometimes over time. All right, so those were my whips. I am going to, yes, I did that already. So these are new charts that are automatics or needlework marketplace orders. And again, I usually do it in alphabetical order so I don't forget anything. So these were from Amy Brecken. Be the Good actually came out a year ago at Nashville, and it was a kit in a dough bowl. And I didn't have any orders for the dough bowl, so I decided to wait until the chart was printed because my customers wanted just the chart. So that came out for everybody. And then Friend Love, Good Morning, Stitchcraft, and some of these you may have seen in my Needlework Marketplace collages on social media. Trick and Treat, and then Dirty Annie's, Autumn Scarecrows, Boo Cat, which was my favorite release of hers. I don't know why. He's just hilarious, and he's so happy. And I really love this one too, Frosty. I love the quilty look and the snowflakes, so I'll probably have to do that. German Santa, Mr. and Mrs. Autumn, and she has a whole series of these couples in various states of dress and different seasons, and they're really fun. Mr. and Mrs. Dracula, Old Salem Sanitarium, Room with a View, Sheet-Based, and then Hands-On Design. This was an auto, a classic haunt, Autumn Calls, Cast a Spell, Pick Your Pumpkin Patch, and then Blueberry from her Berry Basket series. Then JBW, I'm on her auto, a Bristol stocking. I think all these stockings are $10. A Danish stocking. Let me do, I'll do all the stockings. A sampler stocking. And a Stitcher's stocking. And then she had Around Britain And Bluebird of Happiness had been designed for a retreat at another shop, and now it's released to the public. And then Hannah's Bluebird Sampler is taken from various motifs from there, just as a smaller piece. October House Fiber Arts had 3 new ones, Coffee and Pumpkin Pie. Pumpkin Fair in that series. And Pumpkin Row. Silver Creek Samplers had Autumn's Wardrobe. Don't Quit Your Daydream with 2 versions. Greatest Catch. Home with You. Spruce It Up. Vincent Van Gogh. I love her sense of humor. Then Stitching with the Housewives Automatic included Adorables Halloween, Kitty Candy Corn, and the monthly weigh-in for November. And my reorder from With Thy Needle included the re-release of Coming to America, and then the extra chart in that limited edition kit was Celebrate Harvest, and she released that as well. Then I got an order from a distributor called ICG Crafts, Independent Craft Group. Yeah, Independent Craft Group. And they have a lot of designers that other people don't have. Some of them are foreign, some of them are just smaller companies that don't want to do all of the business side of it, and so it's a print-to-order company. And I love Calico Confectionery, and so that's where I get their charts. This is called All Hallows Eve. I need to do this. It's so cute. Then Halloween Game Board. School Days. And We Give Thanks. And this was not new, but I was looking for something else and came across this and thought, I wonder why I never had this one. It's called Mini Sampler of the Month by Cooler Design Studio. It came out in 2012. And I know they're small pictures, but there's all 12 monthlies in the same $14 chart. So they're like $1 a piece, people. So those of you who love little samplers and love monthlies, this is for you. Then they had a new company that I had not heard of before, Miss Prim. This is called Dead Man's Tavern Sign. This is Good Witch Matilda. And this is Headless Horseman Pillow. So those were some fun new things from that distributor. And I have some time, so I'm going to show you this random little order of fabric that I got. Fiber on a Whim was not participating in the needlework marketplace, and I get why some fabric companies don't want to do it, because it's a lot of stress in one weekend and everybody wants everything. And but they had done ready to ship sections before, and so they tried that again, and they just sent a link to their document to everybody who had ordered from them previously. And so I just picked random things in like quarter or half yards because they had them in stock. I believe that all but one were colors that I've never had before, so it was kind of a good way to try them. This is called Color Happens, and I think it was one that was supposed to be something else, and so that's why she just called it this, but then she put the DMC number there. So this is 14. I'm going to do this in order of the count. So this is Cornflower in 14, and these are quarter yards. Is that what it says? Yeah, those are fat quarters. And then this is a half a yard of 14 Morganite. Did I say that right? Yes. Then this is Color Happens in 16. This is Cream and Sugar in 16. And then this is 18 Brown Sugar. So again, a nice neutral. It's kind of messy for those of you that like that. And this is a half a yard, so we can cut that into quarters or we can custom cut from it. And then Cypress, I believe, was a color I had not had before. Then I have half a yard of 28 Cornflower. Exactly like the Cornflower crayon, right? And then this is 32 Belfast in Morganite. This is 32 Lugana in Milk and Honey. And this is 40 in Cornflower, because I don't think I had anything in 40 in a color like this. Mostly neutrals I think I have. So I expect the Atomic Ranch Auto sometime maybe towards the end of next week maybe. But I don't know if I'm going to do a video next Sunday. I think I already said I wasn't, because that's the day I photographed the Medina Needlework Guild sponsored show. And it's, you know, it's already a couple hours out of my day, and so I probably won't, but you never know. I could always do it Saturday night or Monday or something. I say that and then I'm too tired and go, what was I thinking? So I probably won't do one, but I did want to announce that the $25 gift certificate goes to Betty Euland. Hi, Betty. Are you watching? She'll be glad because she has some charts coming and she's on the Fabric Automatic program, so this will go towards her next purchase unless she wants to save it for something special. Anyway, I put everybody's name in a little bag, and for as many times as they, for as many pictures as they submitted for the slideshow that I could use, and so her name was chosen. So congrats, Betty. I will let her know privately as well in case she's not caught up with my videos right now. Okay, I guess that's it. Have a great week. Get lots of stitching done, and we will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.